Different people wait in long lines for different reasons. Researchers, consumers, psychology. A line of people can represent a wide variety of personalities and motivations for waiting or camping in line. People who are very motivated to have scarce items tend to have a high need to be unique. On the other hand, people who are motivated by social proof tend to want to fit in with everyone else. You might see a bunch of people waiting in line, but different things might be going through all their minds. It's a little more complicated than it might first appear. Midnight shows to smartphones and video games, waiting in line for the latest products or experience is not a new phenomenon. The most famous waiting incident back to the middle 1980s when the Cabbage Patch Kids doll frenzy occurs. Parents promised the dolls to their children, but the demand greatly exceeded availability. Although the dolls were fairly inexpensive, people still paid hundreds of dollars to obtain them. People lined up a few weeks ago for a release of the latest smartphone, and the lines will happen again with the arrival of the new ones. It might be good deals of the new deals. There's also a lot of clever marketing involved because marketers are always aware of the social influence practices on the consumer. I think the quality of the deals offered will obviously vary by store. Many stores have a few good deals to get consumers into the store, hoping that they'll buy other things as well. At least two social influence principles explain consumers' willingness to wait in line for products or experiences: the scarcity principle and the social proof principle. The scarcity principle is similar to playing hard to get in a dating area. The dating arena. The principle states that people naturally want things that are rare or difficult to obtain. In reality, many things such as diamonds are naturally rare and are actually valuable. Marketers understand this effect on other products too. Marketers create a demand by imposing an artificial scarcity on an opportunity. Research shows that people tend to react against limit on opportunities and reassert with their freedom to have and do what they want. Even though people could wait an extra week for a new smartphone or a few extra days to see a movie, the scarcity principle motivates people to buy the smartphone or see the movie because they are difficult to obtain. The social proof principle is the concept that if other people are doing something, we use that as evidence that it must be good. Advertisers emphasize when their products are the best-selling or leading brand. It is usually the case that the reason a product or experience is very popular because people realize it is a good quality or value. Once the lines form, there is a tendency to assume that's a cue to a value of the experience or opportunity, and people want to join it. With the social proof principle, there are also an element of normative influence, which is when people want to fit in with what other people are doing. For instance, if 5 people stand on a busy street corner and look up in the air, most passers-by will stop and look up as well because they still assume there's something to see. The same concept applies when people wait in line. Solidarity might be one part of it. For some people it might be more about the information that others' behavior provides, and for others it might be wanting to fit in. But for most people it is probably a combination of those two things. These two things, similarly, people's willingness to wait in line also involves how the waiting is framed. People might complain about waiting in line for 2 hours for something required, while they are less likely to complain about waiting overnight for the latest gadget that they want. When someone is waiting, they're waiting to do something they have to do. When they're waiting to get a phone, or another gimmick, they're waiting for something they want. The waiting makes the first one, a negative experience, more negative, but the waiting for an increased excitement and anticipation of the second experience, because they will have something in hand. Also conducts full cycle psychological research, which means that conducts basic research studying the process of persuasion and compliance and extends this research to applied areas. Also research social marketing, which is relative recent trends in which researchers apply tight and true marketing and social influence techniques to the improvement of social problems. Why we can't wait quotes. Lightning makes no sound until it strikes. Quietly endure, silently suffer, and patiently wait. Find a voice in a whisper. The conservative who say, "Let us not move so fast," and the extremists who say, "Let us go out and whip the world," would tell you that they are as far apart as the poles, but there is a striking parallel. They accomplish nothing, for they do not reach the people who have a crying need to be free. A social movement that only moves people in the merely a revolt, a movement that changes both people and institutions, is a revolution. This revolution is genuine because it was born from the same womb that always gives birth to massive social upheavals. The womb of intolerable conditions and unendurable situations. Unity has never meant uniformity. Time itself is neutral. It can be used either destructively or constructively, more and more. It feels that people of all ill will have used time much more effective than have the people of goodwill. We will have to repent in this generation not merely for the hateful words and actions of the bad people, but for the appalling silence of the good people. Human progress never rolls in a wheels of inevitability. It comes through the tireless effort of men willing to work to be co-workers with God, and without their hard work, time itself becomes an ally of the force of social stagnation.